Editor Knows here. I'll make this quick and snappy. ADHD version at the beginning of the video for those who already know what this deck does. If you don't want to see the deck list or anything, or me building process, skip over maybe a couple hours. Anyways, enjoy the video. I want to try out Malefics. Let's run a test hand. Alright, so here's our hand. So we can activate Malefic territory, slap Malefic rolled right there, and then that's it. Now that we've seen what this deck is capable of, let's look at some deck list. I promise I'm not trying to turn anyone down on this deck. I promise. This is Paradox if his deck was actually good. Wait a minute. Now I gotta look at this. Alright, the Swift's yellow. Let's see. Yeah, I'm inspired, you know? So you are able to just look at other people's decks. Helps you get a gist of like, what are they playing, or like, how do you even, what am I doing here? So this is cool. This is really cool. Okay, that's too far. Alright, let's see if I can cook. I cannot cook because his hand is nothing. I'm honestly in shambles right now. I'm honestly in shambles. Don't worry, we have Zeus. This card's just a 0/0. It's a little 0/0. Do you really want to fight it? This card does nothing. This card does nothing. Don't worry about it. This card does nothing. Don't worry about it. This card does nothing. Don't worry about it. Droplet, because then we can actually make Crimson Dragon using the Nether Cyber End Dragon. Crimson Dragon has been acquired. Then if we want, we can activate Crimson Dragon to go into Cosmic Blazar on our turn. Crimson Dragon to target, he surrendered. Man, this is rough. This is Well, hello. I have returned once more. Sorry last video took so long for you to make. I was having so much fun with Skull Servants that I kind of forgot that I'm trying every archetype and not just an archetype. Hopefully you enjoyed the last video. Hopefully you can check out my playlist, trying every archetype. And speaking of, let's get into what I want to do today. Well, it's very simple. I want to try out Malefics. Now, the goal of this series is basically shedding to light some archetypes that have not been really given any good representation. People may not even like know these decks or archetypes even exist. Some people may have abandoned it after they found out that it kind of sucks, but new cards came out, and you may just surprise yourself with how fun playing other stuff can be. So, yeah, that's what I'm here for. And today, we're going to try out Malefics, and I feel like we're not going to have as much fun with it. But don't worry, I will try to make it as fun as I can. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn about the good and the bad. So just buckle up. Maybe this will be a shorter one, who knows, because I do know a little bit about Malefics. So yeah, holy, this is a very interesting archetype. Sadly, when it comes to history, I don't really provide the history on the deck and who played it in the anime. Maybe Paradox, I think the name is. But this is quite an interesting archetype. One of the first archetypes I ever tried out when I first started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because when you look at stuff, when you look at the first couple cards you ever want to look at. Alright, after I go to monsters, then I go to like effect monsters under category. The first thing I see is this guy. That was the first card I saw in Dueling Nexus, and I was like, wait, I don't know much about this game, but what I do know is that 5,000 attack, 5,000 defense, level 12, it just seems like a powerhouse. An absolute monster. I don't even read the effect. I was like, I want to build a deck around this card. And that's what I did. So let's build around Malefics. Let's get into it. So you just type in Malefic. There you go. Thankfully enough for this archetype, all the cards kind of have Malefic in the name. So you don't have to go out your way to look for cards that are Malefic support without being Malefic support. Alright. We're going to start off with Malefic Truth Dragon, which is a level 12 Dark Dragon monster with 5,000 attack, 5,000 defense. Cannot be normal summon / set. Must be special summoned by its own effect, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. The Malefics will have this clause, I think. Like, a lot of them will have this clause. It's part of their gimmick. If a Malefic monster you control except Malefic Truth Dragon is destroyed by battle card effect, you can pay half your life points, special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. There can only be one Malefic monster on the field. If there is no face-up field spell card on the field, destroy this card. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. Now, this kind of feels like an homage to back in the old Yu-Gi-Oh days where cards were so strong where the effect wasn't even important. It was just the base stats. Because back then, monsters that had such high stats, their effects were basically a condition. They were summoning conditions, or they were a downside to summoning the card. Where to bring this card on the field, this guy can't be normal summon / stat, has to be special summoned by its own effect and by no other ways, which means you can only summon it unnaturally by ignoring summoning conditions. Then, if there is no field spell card in the field spell zone, this card destroys itself, so. And then all it says after that is that its summoning condition, which is to pay half your life points when a Malefic monster is destroyed by battle card effect. And then the only effect it actually has is that if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. Isn't that crazy? Half of this card's effect is just downsides and summoning conditions. The card's actual effect is just destroying an opponent's monster by battle to destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls, which is not that strong. I'm gonna be honest, it's not the strongest effect. So you're gonna find out this archetype consists of this type of thing, and this may be a short one. I don't know. Next up, we have Malefic Paradigm Dragon, which is a level 10 dark dragon monster, has the same text where, cannot be normal summon set, must be special summoned from your hand by banishing one Malefic monster from your extra deck, while Malefic Paradigm Dragon is not on the field. If Malefic World is not on the field, destroy this card. Once per turn, you can send one Malefic card from your deck to the graveyard, return one of your banished level 8 synchro monsters to the extra deck. Then you can special summon that monster from the extra deck. Also, you can only attack with Malefic monsters for the rest of the turn. Now, this card has a little bit more juice to it. It has a little bit more juice, because I'm kind of going in reverse order, I'm gonna be honest with you. But don't worry about it. So, must be special summoned from the hand by banishing a Malefic monster from your extra deck, while Malefic Paradigm Dragon is not on the field. So, while this card isn't on the field, you can banish, wait, what? You can banish a Malefic monster from the extra deck, and then it summons itself. So that's a summoning condition. Then, if Malefic World is not on the field, destroy the card. Wow. Then, once returned, you can send one Malefic card from your deck to the graveyard, return one of your banished level 8 synchro monsters to the extra deck. Then you can special summon that monster from the extra deck. Also, you can only attack with Malefic monsters for the rest of the turn. Now, there's a whole lot here. You're learning about, cards that strictly gotta special summon themselves, which is, it's a lot. So, I guess I'll go over, it'll make more sense. We're gonna have 3 of these, and it'll make more sense once we start getting into, like, what the heck is Malefic World and Malefic whatever you call it. Alright, next up we have Malefic Cyber End Dragon, which is a level 10 dark machine monster with 4,000 attack, 2,800 defense. Cannot be normal summon / set. Must be special summoned from your hand by banishing one Cyber End Dragon from your extra deck. There can only be one Malefic monster on the field. Other monsters you control cannot declare an attack. If there is no face-up field spell on the field, destroy this card. There we go. Summoning condition. This is literally just summoning condition. You're playing these cards because they have 4,000 plus attack. Because this card only has a summoning condition as its effect. Banish the Cyber End Dragon from your extra deck. Great. Other monsters you control cannot declare an attack. Dang, that's another condition. If there's no face-up field spell, destroy the card. Wow. So you're starting to understand why, yike. Next up, we have Malefic Rainbow Dragon, which is a level 10 dark dragon monster with 4,000 attack, 0 defense. This card cannot be normal summon / set. This card cannot be special summoned except by removing from play or banishing one rainbow dragon from your hand or deck. There can only be one face-up Malefic monster on the field. Other monsters you control cannot declare an attack. If there's no face-up field spell card in the field spell zone or whatever, destroy this card. So I'm gonna save you a little bit of this. The part where it says there can only be one face-up Malefic monster on the field, and other monsters cannot declare an attack, and if there's no field spell, destroy the card. That is on like almost all of the Malefic monsters that aren't like the boss monsters here. So I'm gonna call it the Malefic text. The Malefic text, right? So the thing that's different between this and Cyber End Dragon is that its summoning condition requires you to banish a rainbow dragon from your hand or deck, whereas the other one requires you to banish a Cyber End Dragon from your extra deck. So I'm not very confident right now. Next up, we have Malefic Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is a level 8 dark dragon monster with 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense. Cannot be normal summon / set. Must be first special summoned from your hand by banishing one Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck. And it has a Malefic text. Now, you're starting to notice like, wait, this Malefic monster has Malefic Blue Eyes White Dragon. They're kind of similar to like the originals, right? And yes, they are. They kind of are. And you're about to find out why. Next up, we have Malefic Stardust Dragon, which is a level 8 Dark Dragon monster with 2500 attack, 2000 defense. Cannot be normal summon stat set, must be special summoned from your hand by banishing one Stardust Dragon from your extra deck, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. It has the Malefic text, and then also, face-up field spell cards cannot be destroyed by card effects. So, this one has an actual effect, isn't that crazy? That's crazy. This card has an effect that is not its summoning condition. Next up, we have Malefic Red Eyes Black Dragon, which is a level 7 Dark Dragon monster with 2400 attack, 2000 defense. Cannot be normal summon set, must be first special summon from your hand by banishing one Red Eyes Black Dragon from your deck. And then it has the Malefic tag. Alright, here's the cool part of this deck. We have Malefic Parallel Gear, which is a level 2 Dark Machine Tuner monster with 0 attack, 0 defense. That has the effect that when using this card Synchro Material, using as a Synchro Material monster, the other Synchro Material monster is one Malefic monster in your hand. So that's interesting now. You're like, wait, there's some big guys here. And then you're saying Malefic Parallel Gear is a tuner, and then the non-tuner is a Malefic in your hand? That's pretty interesting. I like this card a lot. Next up, we have Malefic Paradox Gear, which is a level 1 Dark Machine monster with 0 attack, 0 defense. It has the effect that, if a face-up field spell is in the field, you can tribute this card, special summon one Malefic Parallel Gear from your deck, and then add a Malefic monster from your deck to your hand, except Malefic Paradox Gear. If a Malefic monster would banish a monster to special summon itself by its own way, you can banish this card you control, or in your graveyard instead. You can only use each effect of Malefic Paradox Gear once per turn. Now, this card's pretty cool too. Requires field spell though. You need a field spell so it can tribute itself, summon the gear, then after summoning the gear, add any one of your Malefic monsters, because you're going to find out why you need to do that as well. Alright, next up we have the Malefic Paradox Dragon, which is a level 10 Dark Dragon Synchro monster with 4000 attack, 4000 defense, which requires Malefic Parallel Gear plus one non-tuner Malefic monster. That has the effect that, when this card is synchro summoned, you can select one synchro monster in either player's graveyard and special summon it. There can only be one face-up Malefic Paradox Dragon on the field. If Malefic World does not face up on the field, destroy this card. My oh my, summoning conditions galore. So this card has the actual only effect that, when it's synchro summoned, target a synchro monster and special summon it from the graveyard. That's it. That's its only effect. Everything else is just restrictions and summoning conditions. This is a deck. This is a deck, I tell you. Next up, we have Malefic Selector, which is a normal spell card with the effect to banish 2 Malefic cards from your graveyard, add 2 Malefic cards from your deck to your hand except Malefic Selector, with different names from each other, and from the banished cards. You can only activate one Malefic Selector once per turn. So, you see how your Malefic monsters can only special summon themselves from the hand except Malefic Truth Dragon? Malefic Selector helps you get a little bit of, not really recursion, but to replenish your hand. By banishing the Malefic monsters you use, that probably died because someone destroyed your field spell, and then adds 2 more Malefic monsters, so even helps you gain access to Malefic Parallel Gear and Malefic Paradox Gear, which is kind of necessary if you want to go into the synchros. Alright, next up we have Malefic Divide, which is a quick play spell card with the effect to target one Malefic monster in your graveyard, special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions, but its effects are negated, also banish it during the end phase. This card's pretty interesting. Remember how I talked about... Wait, I forgot. Okay, so in the Gate Guardian video, I deleted a scene where I was talking about ignoring summoning conditions and how ignoring summoning conditions is almost important. It's not really important, alright? You don't really see many situations where ignoring summoning conditions can be proven detrimental if you don't really know what it means. But this card special summons a Malefic monster from your graveyard ignoring summoning conditions. So you know how these cards can only be special summoned by this, this, and that? Which means you can't normally special summon them. Like, if there's a card like Reasoning, where it can special summon any monster or whatever. Malefic Divide is the way you actually special summon Malefics from your graveyard. By ignoring their summon conditions, which is like the only way you can do it. It is literally like... These cards are so restrictive, you need ignoring summoning conditions, because it's rough, man. But here is the interesting part I have not noted, but you may notice already. This is a non once per turn. So, depending on how many Malefics you have in your graveyard, you can summon a bunch of these guys. And you know what the best part about this card is? By negating your Malefic monster's effects, you are essentially helping them stay on the field. Because let's imagine you don't have a card in your field spell zone. Half of these cards destroy themselves when summoned if there's no field spell. So by using Malefic Divide to special summon it from the graveyard, ignoring summoning conditions, and negating the effects, you are actively helping this card out. You're helping this archetype. Because these cards are almost stronger with their effects negated, which is, I mean, holy, oh my god. Okay, sorry. Next up, we have, I gotta show you this card first. Which is important because Malefic Paradox Dragon and Malefic Paradigm Dragon need Malefic World in the field, so. We have Malefic World, which is a field spell card with the effect to, while this card's face up on the field, you can activate this effect instead of conducting your normal draw phase during your draw phase. Choose 3 Malefic cards from your deck, and have your opponent pick one of them at random to add to your hand, shuffle the rest back into your deck. Now, this card, I'm gonna be honest, I mean, you're also starting to notice that, hey, these monsters require banishing their normal selves from the graveyard, from their deck, which means that you're not going to have just some Malefic cards in your deck, you're going to have the cards necessary to bring these cards out, like Blue Eyes White Dragon, Red Eyes, Rainbow Dragon, Cyberian Dragon. So then, you're going to break very hard, because what if you're during your draw phase, you draw into like a Red Eyes Dragon and not a Malefic Red Eyes Dragon. So Malefic World is there to help you only draw into your Malefic cards while your bricks stay in the deck. The issue is that, first off, your opponent has to choose one, so you're not given the freedom of like actually picking a card you want. Secondly, your opponent can ash this, which, so imagine blanking your draw phase because you wanted to activate Malefic World. Great, no. So this is look, I never said the archetypes I'll be going into would be good. All I said was that you may never know what new stuff has to offer, so keeping an open mind is very important, despite the fact that this is holy. I haven't played this deck in a very long time and I'm starting to understand why. Next up, we have Malefic Tune, which is a normal trap card with the effect to, if a face-up Malefic monster you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card, draw 2 cards. If a face-up Malefic monster you control is destroyed while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can banish this card from your graveyard, add a Malefic monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effective Malefic Tune once per turn. So, it's like helping you on the off chance your Malefics get destroyed by battle or card effect. So, oh, Malefic monster gets destroyed and you got that trap on the field, boom. You activate the trap, you draw 2 cards, it's like you never even lost. And then, if a Malefic monster is destroyed again while the card's in the graveyard, you can add a Malefic monster. I have a big gripe with this. My first issue, it is a trap card. Trap cards are quite slow, which means this is not going to be very helpful. What you could do though is, I think Paradigm Dragon sends a Malefic card, yeah. So what you could do if you get Malefic Paradigm Dragon on the field, you can send Malefic Tune to the graveyard, so that if a Malefic monster ends up getting destroyed, you can add a Malefic monster from your deck to your hand. That's like the application I can see for its graveyard effect on the off chance. That's pretty much it. Next up, we have Malefic Claw Stream. Activate only if you control a face-up Malefic monster. Select one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Wow, cool. I don't know what to really comment on that one. I'll be honest, the testing build with only in-engine is going to look very different from the end goal. You may not like what it's going to look like, but just keep that in mind, I guess. Next up, we have, this card's funny because this card basically overwritten this whole archetype. It's so fun. I gotta explain it. Next up, we have Malefic Territory, which is a continuous spell card with the effect that, when this is activated, you can activate one Malefic World from your deck. While that card is in the field zone, neither player can target cards on the field zones with card effects. The Malefic monster's effect, there can only be one face-up Malefic monster on the field becomes, there can only be one face-up Malefic monster on the field with the same name. During the battle phase, negate the effects of face-up Malefic monsters on the field. This card is hilarious. They recognized the archetype was so restrictive and so bad that the continuous spell rewrites the effects of the monsters. so that instead of having only one Malefic monster on the field, you're able to have multiple. Wow, this is just, man, this is, that is beautiful, I tell you. But at least when it's activated, you can just activate Malefic World straight from your deck, which is nice because all of these cards need a field spell card in the zone. Preferably Malefic World for Paradigm and Paradox. So there we go. We're gonna add this, and this is our in archetype in engine. Now there's a little problem. These cards cannot summon themselves without their former versions. So what we have to do is look up the former versions for all of these cards. Like Malefic Cyber End Dragon, it requires us we banish Cyber End Dragon, so now we need Cyber End Dragon. 1, 2, 3 of these. Malefic Rainbow Dragon. Oh wait, we need actual Rainbow Dragon. Alright, Blue Eyes White Dragon. We need Blue Eyes White Dragon. Which Blue Eyes White Dragon do I want to use? I want to use... I want to use Chicken Dragon, because it's funny and it's an abomination. Give me Blue Eyes Chicken Dragon. Alright. Malefic Stardust Dragon. Well, we need Stardust Dragon. Malefic Red Eyes Dragon. Well, we gotta get Red Eyes Dragon. So, here we go. This is your in-archetype list. Yes, this archetype has a lot of cards, I do agree. But that doesn't mean this will save this deck. Now, I'm going to do a test hand with this. More than likely, we may have to chop down a little bit of it before we start looking into actual deck list. And then after looking at deck list, I may just use my own strategy and see what I can cook up as well, so. Let's run a test hand. Alright, so here's our hand. To be honest, this hand is kind of strong. We have Malefic Territory, Red Eyes Black Dragon, Malefic Parallel Gear, Blue Eyes White Dragon, and Malefic Truth Dragon. Now, the good part about this hand is that we have access to the field spell already. So we can activate Malefic Territory, slap Malefic World right there, and then that's it. Well, we can normal summon Malefic Parallel Gear because if Malefic Truth Dragon, so if a Malefic monster is destroyed by a battle card effect, then I can pay out my life point special summon this card. So even though we open 2 bricks, if Malefic Parallel Gear gets destroyed by battle, we can special summon Malefic Truth Dragon. Alright, let's try another hand. Okay, look at this opener. We have Malefic World, Paradigm Dragon, Parallel Gear, Cyber End, and Blue Eyes White Dragon. So we opened a brick, but at least we got the field spell. So we got field spell on field, so that's good. What we could do, we could we could special summon Paradigm Gear, I'm thinking, by banishing Paradox Dragons, summon it, and that's pretty much it. That's the hand. That's all we can do. Yep. Yep, that's it. Yep. 4,000 attack guy on the field. Yep, that's the inboard. That's the good stuff. Yep. Yep. Okay, this hand is actually a little bit better, and here's why. We have Malefic Territory, Malefic Rainbow Dragon, Malefic Cyber End, and Malefic Blue Eyes. But Malefic Territory is going to change the game, and here's why. We're going to activate Territory. Territory gets to add the field spell, slap it right on our field spell zone. Then we can special summon Blue Eyes by sending the Blue Eyes, banishing it. To summon the Blue Eyes, we can still special summon Cyber End Dragon because their effects have been rewritten so that we can control Malefic monsters with different names. We can special summon the Rainbow Dragon, banishing the Rainbow Dragon. Boom. So we have a 4,000 attacker, a 4,000 attacker, and a 3,000 attacker on field. That was a hand of all time. I don't know how in this 51 card deck that we're able to open Malefic Territory and or the field spell and not like brick. I know it seems like these games are going by a little bit fast, but that is strictly because these are the inboards. I know I've probably like teased everyone with the Skull Servants combo or something, but this is that is the inboard of Malefics. There is nothing else. Oh, here we go. Since we opened the Red Eyes Black Dragons and we got Malefic Parallel Gear. So we got Parallel Gear. Boom, we got the field spell, which means if this card gets destroyed by battle, we can summon Truth Dragon. Yep. That's an import. Let's do one more. Oh, here's what happened when you don't have field spell. So we have Paradox Gear, we have Paradigm Dragon. Let's imagine we try to summon Paradigm Dragon. by banishing Paradox. We summon it, it destroys itself. But hear me out, because it destroyed itself, we can pay half our life points to special summon the Truth Dragon. Boom. But did you forget? There is no card in the field spell zone, so that guy also goes. Great. That's our end board. Okay, let's do one more hand. This is a... Man, this is bringing back memories. I remember this deck. Wow. I can't believe I used all my gems on Master Duel for this. It hurts my feelings, to be honest. But don't worry, we can make this deck better, because we opened Malefic World. Then we got Blue Eyes, Malefic Dragon, and Red Eyes. But here's the combo. Remember, Malefic Parallel Gear can use a Malefic monster in hand as the non-tuner monster necessary for the Synchro Summon. So we can normal summon Malefic Parallel Gear. We can then summon Paradox Dragon by using these two monsters as material. Paradox Dragon is on field. There is no Synchro monster in either graveyard, so Paradox Dragon cannot summon it. Also, nothing has been properly summoned, so that's our end board. This guy is just a 4,000 attack guy, so yeah. Anyways, now that we've seen what this deck is capable of, let's look at some deck list. I promise I'm not trying to turn anyone down on this deck. I promise. Don't mind what I did here. I just cooked up a diabolical bestial sprite list, but we're not gonna talk about it. Let's see let's see. I think there's people who play Malefic, so let's see what they got. Malefico. There we go. I don't know what that was about. Oh yeah, we got Malefic decks for days. We got Malefic Synchro, Malefic deck, Malefic Synchro, Malefic Blue Eyes Control, Morphic, Malefic Oracle. Let's check out Malefic Synchro by Maisa-chan. I feel like they're cooking up something diabolical. You see Crimson Dragon in the title? They're cooking. They got Paradigm, Cyber End, Rainbow Stardust, Paradox Territory, Dark Ruler, Triple, Synchro Rumble. What the heck? Oh, okay. What are they cooking here? How do they make these? Wait a minute. They go into a 10? I guess their hope is to make 2? No, there's no way. No. What? No. I doubt that they're able to make more than one synchro with this deck. That's interesting though. I commend them. Wait, is their goal to- wait. Wait, what? Yo, dude, they don't even have a Rainbow Dragon in their deck. Why is this card even here? Do they plan on summoning it off of Malefic Divide? Maybe I'm lost. Synchro level 12 and 10 turbo. I agree. Oh, I forgot. You can use them in your hand. The cards in your hand can also be used as synchro material. I'm being goofy. They do not need to summon it. Alright, let's check out Malefic Synchro by Mystery of Me. Let's see what they're cooking. Oh, I do need to add this card. This card's pretty good. This is more or less what I expected. This is what I expected, to be honest. Yeah, no, this is what I expected. Yeah, this is pretty much on the nose. Yeah, this is on the nose, to be honest. Yeah, this is very on the nose for what I was expecting. Yeah, that's on the nose. Skill drain's good because, yeah, yep. Sigma, I love summoning Sigma. That's funny. Crimson King Calamity. I see what they're cooking. Let's check out Malefic by Soundwave 73. And that's the thing, you're just looking at people's decks. Okay, I see what they're doing. I don't know how long ago that was. That's probably what, 6 months ago, 5 months? Paradox, if his deck was actually good. Wait a minute, now I gotta look at this. Alright, the Swift's yellow, let's see. Trade in, I see what you're cooking, Oh, this is like a pure build. Okay. Yeah, I'm inspired, you know, so you are able to just look at other people's decks. Helps you get a gist of like, what are they playing, or like, how do you even, what am I doing here? So this is cool, this is really cool. Okay, that's too far. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna craft my own version. Because I want to help out and add, I don't want to just like steal a deck and call it a fine afternoon. To understand the deck, to understand what you're doing, you can copy someone's deck if you want, learn about the cards. Since I have like a slight knowledge of what I want to do, I'm gonna see if I can make this again. So give me a second. Hopefully I don't cook too hard. Make sure to turn your headphone down because I normally throw like a little time lapse before I do this. So yeah, Let me see what I can make up. Alright, this is what I cooked up. I'll be honest, I can't say it's good or anything. I gave it a fair squeeze. I gave it about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes of just trying to think of like, what do I do in this situation here? You saw, I even looked at some of the YGO Pro decks and see what they were cooking up. Personally, I'm just not confident. I'm just not very confident at all. I'm sorry. It's just, this deck has its flaws, right? And that's why I'm bringing this to light, because maybe someone can really come together and say, hey, I want this deck to go hard. I want to cook it like nobody's business, but I can't. I'm a limited individual. I only know so much, so it is a darn shame because I really do want to see what I can make work, but I don't have like the infinite ability to do so. So that's my problem. So I ran a couple test hands and I just said, hey, it'll do. It'll do. This isn't as crazy as you think, right? I just thought I'd whip something up. It seems a little bit fun, very low power. You see a lot of synchros, but I don't even think I'll be summoning even half of them. But don't worry, this is like, if you like to play Malefics, be my guest. You know, be my guest. That's how I see it. This is just a good old honky-dory, fun time deck. It's a learning experience for all of us. Now, let's see what we're cooking here. Alright, we already went over all the Malefics. Pretty much, all the Malefics. Oh, ratios. So, I cut down Malefic Truth Dragon to 1 because there's not a snowman's chance I'm getting even one of these guys on the field, let alone 3. There's no way. Well, I kept the Paradigm Dragon, Cyber End Dragon, and Stardust Dragon at 3 because their summoning conditions does not inhibit your main deck because they require banishing cards from your extra deck, which doesn't hurt your deck profile, whereas Red Eyes Black Dragon, Blue Eyes Dragon, and Malefic Rainbow Dragon I had to remove because it requires that card and then also a main deck monster, which just really hurts the deck, and I don't want to like have more bricks. I don't want to open a Red Eyes Black Dragon which I can't even use. It just doesn't work. These cards don't inhibit the game plan. I just have to give up an extra deck slot for it, which I don't mind. So that's why I kept these guys in here and then removed the guys that mess up my main deck. Because you see I got it down to 40. The in-engine deck was 51 cards, I believe, so we kept Paradox Gear and Parallel Gear to 3 because these are my tuner access to go into Synchro Monsters and I kind of need them. They're kind of important. Synchro access is important. Paradox Gear literally adds, like, it's a 1-card Synchro if a field spell's in the field spell zone, so that's really important. Next up, we have new cards. I don't even know if I can explain engines per se, but I'll start off with Draw Power. Now, this deck, I want to do something quirky, so I decided to add cards. Oh, I forgot, more ratio. Malefic Divide I put to 1 because I learned that summoning ignoring summoning conditions, I don't know why it did not work on, like, I activated the effect on Parallel Gear and Paradox, but it wouldn't bring back Cyber End Dragon. I think that's because I didn't normally, I don't even know what happened there. I'm not even going to explain it. I don't even care about that. But it's down to 1. Once per turn or non-once per turn, this card is not as strong as I thought it'd be, which is my mistake, so yeah. Oh wait, I know what happened. It's because I can only control one Malefic, there can only be one Malefic monster on the field. Oh my god. Anyways, this is rough. That's all rough, is all I'm gonna say. That's super rough. Alright, what else? I got rid of the trap cards because trap cards are so slow. Even though a trap card that just says destroy a monster, not very strong. Drawing 2 cards when a card's destroyed, you're already in a losing position. I'd rather not play that. I got rid of Malefic Selector because we're running a lower package of Malefic monsters, so we won't be able to really bring use to this card. Yeah, that's just what I believe. My opinion, as they say. I cut, even though we have 3 of the Cyber End and 3 of the Stardust, I'm only running 1 Stardust Dragon and 1 Cyber End Dragon. Mainly because it's going to be very rare occasions where I summon this card. And then also, I can go Paradigm, wait, I forgot. Paradigm Dragon's effect is so funky in that it's all one effect. To send a Malefic card from your deck to the graveyard, and then also to return and special summon one of your Dragon Synchros from your banish pile, is all in one effect. So you would have to be able to have a dragon synchro in your banished, and to be able to send a card from deck to grave to use both effects, which is, that sucks a lot. These cards, they're vanillas in my opinion. They're all vanillas. They all have no effects. In my heart of hearts, these cards have zero effects. They're just big guys with a lot of attack, and if that's what you want, that's what you get. You get big man with big attack. Feel free. Next up, we kept the Malefic world in Malefic territory because these overwrite the cards, and also I need field spells in my field spell zone if I want to summon any of these guys. So that's kind of important. Alright, we cut Paradox Dragon to 2. Personally, I probably want to put this to 1 next time, but I kept it at 2 for now because I'm just finagling on the off chance I summon Paradox Dragon. Then if I go Paradigm Dragon to banish the second copy, I can return the second copy to summon Paradox Dragon on the off chance. Real sketchy situations, nothing really too crazy there, so that's why I just kept 2 of these instead. Alright, let's start this main deck now with cards. We're going to start with drawing cards. Now, what I want to do is draw a certain amount of cards, right? And some strategies you could run any of the pot cards, which, you know, Pot of Greed, draw 2 cards. These are different, where the pot collection, they say, have certain requirements for you to draw cards or to search cards. I decided not to run any of those and decided to run an even funnier card called Tokusano Shinkyojin. So this card is a normal spell card with the effect to send monsters from your hand and or face-up field to the graveyard, whose total levels equals 10, draw 2 cards. It's as simple as that. It's a free draw 2, no restrictions. Just send monsters whose level equal 10. Now the thing is that, in this situation, you could use the card as to discard better, right? Like, imagine you have cards you want in your graveyard. Like, you have a level 6 and level 4 and you want them in your grave, you can use this card to send both of them since they both equal 10. And then you get to draw 2, which replenishes your hand. You do go -1, but don't worry about it. Now, another way you could use it so that you're basically replenishing, you're going neutral, is by using this card to just send 1 monster. And since Malefic dragons have pretty high attack, you can send Malefic Cybrian Dragon or Malefic Paradigm Dragon, which are level 10 monsters, and then, you know, get a free draw in, which is very cool. That's also why I'm running this card. So it's free draw, and we have level 10s that we may not even use. Next up, we have Jizukiru, the Star Destroying Kaiju, which is a level 10 light machine monster with 3300 attack, 2600 defense. You can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field into that tap position by tributing 1 monster they control. If your opponent controls a kaiju monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in a tap position. You can only control 1 kaiju monster. When a card or effect is activated that targets 1 card and no other cards, quick effect, you can remove 3 kaiju counters from anywhere on the field and negate that effect, and if you do, destroy 1 card on the field. Now, don't worry about the bottom effect, that's not what's important. And what's important is that the archetype of kaijus, right? Basically, their gimmick or like cool mechanic is that they special summon themselves by tributing 1 monster on your opponent's side of the field to special summon themselves on your opponent's side of the field, which is very unique because there's pesky cards that your opponent may have that you cannot out on your own. So what you do, you tribute them away, which is the strongest form of removal you could probably get because you can't react to it, you can't respond to it. Only way you can stop a card from tributing over your monster is that you have a card that prevents tributing, or it stops tributing in some sort of way. And also, this synergizes with the spell card Pot of Greed or whatever this card is. I'm gonna call it Toku. It also synergizes with Toku because it's a level 10. So imagine I'm going first and I don't need Jizukiru. I can use Toku, I can send it to the graveyard, draw 2 cards. So even though this card's in my hand as a brick, it's not a brick. So that's what I do like about it. Worst chance is it can be used for Toku to draw 2 cards. Best chance, I can get rid of my opponent's pesky monster. And most of the level 10s I'm going to be mentioning are there for that purpose. Next up, we have Karnot the Eternal Machine, which is a level 10 light machine monster with 3000 attack, 2500 defense. That is the effect that cannot be normal summon / set. Must first be special summoned from your hand or graveyard during a duel in which your opponent has activated a monster effect in their hand or graveyard. You can only special summon Karnot the Eternal Machine once per turn this way. Once per turn, if your opponent activates a monster effect, except during the damage step, you can make this card gain 1000 attack. If this card is sent to the graveyard, except from the hand or deck, shuffle this card into the deck. Interesting. So this card's a free special summon. Oh, I almost want to run an engine. Ah, dang, I may mess around with this deck a little bit more, but oh yeah. So this card, what's good about it is that it's a level 10 for Toku, so I can send it off. Also, it can be summoned from the hand or graveyard, which means I could send this off with Toku and then still be able to special summon it from the graveyard, so that it's not even like a bad that I got rid of it. Also, if your opponent activates a monster effect, gain 1000 attack. So that's super fun as well. It's an honorary Malefic card in my opinion. So just more synergies, more ways to like get big bodies on the field. I may mess around and do like a certain tuning play, you know, like from I may mess around and do a certain tuning play like from last video where I use tuning to search Revolution and Jet Synchron for the Skull Servants. I may do that to search Assault Synchron, which may help because sadly Parallel Gear can only be used as a synchro material if the other synchro material is a Malefic monster in hand. But what if I want to special summon one guy? Then I may have to use Assault Synchron and then whatever guy's on the field to go into my synchros. So I may finagle around and see what I can cook with that. I think that may work. Next up we have Winged Dragon of Raw Spear Mode, which is a level 10 divine beast monster with question mark attack and defense. Cannot be special summoned. Requires 3 tributes from either side of the field to normal summon to that side of the field. Cannot be normal set. Then shift control to this card's owner during the end phase of the next turn. Cannot attack. Your opponent cannot target this card for attacks or by card effects. You can tribute this card, special summon the Winged Dragon of Ra from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, and if you do, its attack and defense become 4000. Now, maybe in a later video, when I go over like the god cards as an archetype, I'll talk more about its other effects, but what is important about this card is that it is a kaiju. You tribute 3 monsters from your opponent's side of the field or your side of the field to special summon it to whoever side of the field you tribute it from, so that's the importance of this card. It is also a level 10, so Toku can send it off if I'm going first. Also, it can be used with this card right here, Mound of the Bound Creator, which is a field spell card with the effect that level 10 or higher monsters on the field cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. If a level 10 or higher monster destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, the player who controlled the destroyed monster takes 1000 damage. When this card on the field is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 divine monster from your deck to your hand. Now you're seeing the synergies now. Spear Mode is a divine beast monster. I can send it off a Toku, or in the off chance that I have the field spell Mound of the Bound Creator and is destroyed, I can add myself Spear Mode because I assume I'll be in a situation where I would need it, and then tribute off my opponent's monsters. Also, Mound of the Bound Creator protects my Malefics from destruction and targeting. Also, it protects any higher monsters I have, which I may go into synchros like Malefic Paradox Dragon, so you're kind of seeing like, it's almost synergizing, almost. So with Mound of the Bound Creator on the field, this may be kind of a hot situation for me, so it's super interesting how it's all coming together, almost. Next up we have Ash Blossom. You know Ash Blossom, so from the Gate Guardian video, I think I talked about Ash Blossom, so yeah. We have Effect Veiler. Wait, I talked about Effect Veiler too from the Skull Servant video, I think. Look at me. It's like, as you watch more from the playlist, you start to learn more and more about cards, and then I don't have to explain as many. We have 1 for 1, which I explained from the Skull Servants video. Nice. Good job, me. Next up, we have Synchro Overtake, which is a normal spell card with the effect to reveal 1 synchro monster in your extra deck, choose one of the synchro materials mentioned on it, and add it to your hand or special summon that monster from your deck or graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck the turn you activate this card except synchro monsters. You can only activate 1 synchro overtake per turn. Now, I'm going to jot this down real quick. Basically, you reveal a synchro, how some synchros require a tuner and a non-tuner. Some synchros require a specific card name. Like there's a series or an archetype where the synchro monsters require specifically Jet Synchron, Satellite Synchron, that type of thing. So Malefic Paradox Dragon, if you look at it, you can tell that it requires Malefic Parallel Gear plus 1 non-tuner Malefic monster. So you're like, wait, it requires specifically this card. It doesn't just say tuner. It says specifically mentioning Malefic Parallel Gear, which means Synchro Overtake can reveal Malefic Paradox Dragon and then summon Malefic Parallel Gear from the deck and or add it to the hand. But I'm locked into Synchro monsters, which are these white cards in my extra deck. So that's an interesting card if I want to like get Malefic Parallel Gear, if I don't have access to Paradox or Parallel. or if I don't have access to the field spell for Paradox to summon Parallel and add a card, so that's also why I'm running it. Alright, next up we have this card. I do like this card. We have Forbidden Chalice, which is a quick play spell card with the effect to target one face-up monster on the field. Until the end of this turn, that target gains 400 attack, but its effects are negated. Now, this card's pretty strong in how... You remember how I told you that the Malefic monsters, you almost want their effects to be negated because they're just that bad? Forbidden Chalice gives them a 400 attack boost, doesn't really matter. It can also negate their effects, which I do like. So let's just imagine you're in a situation where you have Cyber in Malefic Dragon on the field and a field spell. Your opponent threatens to destroy your field spell. So what you can do, if it is a spell trap that they're activating, you can chain Forbidden Chalice targeting your Cyber End Dragon so that its effects are negated, which means that when your field spell is destroyed, Malefic Cyber End Dragon can stay on the field until the end of the turn. But, if it is a monster effect they're activating to threaten your field spell, you can activate Forbidden Chalice targeting their monster on the field. It gains 400 attack, but their effects are negated, which protects your field spell. So it can be used for you or your opponent. It's super interesting, and I do like that, because there's situations where you want to negate your cards or your opponent's cards, so that's cool. Alright, we're almost done with the main deck. Next up, we have Set Rotation, which is a quick play spell card with the effect to set 2 field spells with different names from your deck on the field, one on your field and one on your opponent's field. While either of those cards remain set on the field, neither player can activate or set other field spells. So basically, this card just says activate, well, just places the field spell. Imagine I don't have access to Malefic territory or Malefic world. What I can do, I can activate Set Rotation, set a Malefic world on my side of the field, and set a field spell on their side of the field. And in doing so, I am able to basically have access to the field spell, in which other situation I wouldn't. Because in this Malefic deck, it is important that you have the field spell. So that's pretty much what it's used for. Next up, we have, already did that, we have this new card that came out recently called Multi-Universe, which is a field spell card with the effect to activate only if you do not control a face-up card in your field spell zone. You can target one field spell that is banished or in either graveyard, destroy this card, and if you do, place that targeted card face-up in your field spell zone. You can only use this effect of Multi-Universe once per turn. If a card or cards in the field spell zone would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Now, field spells are important, so much so that basically this card's pretty interesting in how if my Malefic world gets destroyed, but I have access to this field spell, what I could do, I could activate it, targeting the Malefic world that's in my graveyard, destroying Multi-Universe so that I can place the Malefic world back into my field spell zone. So it's like it never even went. So that's really interesting. I do like that part. It just helps you get your field spells back, and it also is a field spell in itself. So I can't complain there. I really can't. Wow, I really blew through this main deck. Let's get to the extra deck now. Alright, this shouldn't take too long because this deck is pretty dang simple. Alright, we have Cyber End Dragon, which is a level 10 light machine monster with 4,000 attack, 2800 defense. Oh, it's also a fusion, by the way. It requires Cyber Dragon, and a Cyber Dragon. And then it has the effect that a fusion summon of this card can only be done with the above fusion materials. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. This card is only used so that I can send it to so I can banish it using Malefic Cyber End Dragon to summon itself. The same goes for Stardust Dragon, which is a level 8 Wind Dragon Synchro monster with 2500 attack, 2000 defense, which requires a tuner and a non-tuner monster. That has the effect that when a card or effect is activated that would destroy a card or cards on the field, quick effect. You can tribute this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. During the end phase, if this effect was activated this turn and was not negated, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. So I have no way to summon this guy. Just know that Malefic Stardust Dragon has to banish Stardust Dragon from your extra deck to summon itself. Alright, let's get through the rest of this. Oh my. I just thought about it. I honestly don't want to read these cards because it has so many effects and I don't even know if I'll be able to summon any of these cards. Oh no, that's a lot to read. Alright, bear with me. We're about to read through some of the most long text cards on earth. In my opinion, these cards are just a lot to read. And the worst part is that I don't even know if I'll be able to summon these. Don't want to waste your time, but just bear with me. So I'm going to make this as easy to explain as possible. We're going to start off with the level 10 synchros we're able to get into, using Malefic Parallel Gear plus Malefic Stardust Dragon. Alright, we have Rudy Rose Dragon. which is a level 10 Fire Dragon Synchro monster with 3200 tap, 2400 defense, which requires a tuner plus 1 plus non-tuner monsters. If this card synchro summon, you can banish all cards from the graveyards. Then, if this card was synchro summoned using Black Rose Dragon or Plant Synchro Monsters material, you can destroy all other cards on the field. When your opponent activates a card effect that would destroy the card, quick effect, you can tribute this card, negate the activation, then you can special summon one Black Rose Dragon from your extra deck or graveyard. So, it's a Synchro 10, which means Parallel Gear plus Stardust Dragon can make it. Then when it's Synchro Summon, banish all cards from the graveyards. So that can be a lot of interruption. Also, if a card were to be destroyed, tribute this card, negate the activation, and then summon Black Rose Dragon, which is a level 7 Fire Dragon Synchro monster with 2400 attack, 1800 defense. That has the effect that, requires a tuner and 1 plus non-tuner monsters. Then it says when synchro, has the effect that when this card synchro summon, you can destroy all cards on the field. Once per turn, you can banish one plant monster from your graveyard, then target one defense position monster your opponent controls, change that target to face up attack position, and if you do, its attack becomes 0 until the end of the turn. Upon reading this card I cannot use, but at least it makes it so Rudy Rose can be a destruction negate. This card I cannot use for its effects though, so that's funny. Alright, next up, the next level 10 synchro we have is, this is really important to learn, so keep this in mind. Bestial Dissipator, which is a level 10 Dark Dragon Synchro monster with 3500 attack, 3500 defense. Requires 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner dragon monsters. You can target one banished light or dark monster, special summon it to your field. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can target one banished card, shuffle it into the deck. Then if you shuffled it into your deck, destroy that monster. Or if you shuffled into your opponent's deck, negate that activated effect. You can only use each effect of Bestial Dissipator once per turn. Now, this card's busted, but for other reasons. This card's busted like really hard. This card is broken. I love it. I love this card. I have a deck list that is super fun that uses this card a lot. Anyway, so this card's strong because banish cards you can summon back for no reason. Also, it can negate monster effects if your opponent has a banished card for some reason. Or you can just destroy a card at quick effect speed. Also has 3500 attack, super strong. Also is level 10, so it probably can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects of Mound of the Bound creators on the field. Also, it's just insane. So, a whole lot of alsos, man. It is a fun card. I love this card. Next up, we have Chaos Angel, which is a level 10 Dark Fiend Synchro monster with 3500 attack, 2800 defense, which requires a tuner plus 1 plus non-tuner light or dark monsters. For this card synchro summon, you can also treat one light or dark monster you control as a tuner. If this card is special summon, you can target one card on the field, banish it. This card gains these effects based on the original attributes of materials used for its synchro summon. Light. Synchro monsters you control are unaffected by monster effects. Or dark. Monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. Now, this card is broken for different reasons. On special summon, not synchro but special summon, target a card, banish it. Also, if I use, let's just say, Parallel Gear plus Stardust Dragon to make it, which I would do, because the original attributes for the synchro summon were dark monsters, monsters I control cannot be destroyed by battle. So then, this will truly start becoming some towers gameplay. I'm just telling you, Mound of the Bound creator plus high level monsters makes towers. So we're almost in towers territory right now. So that's pretty cool. Alright, seems like the level 10 synchro list is done. Let's get to level 12s. Hopefully I can make this as fast as possible. Alright, level 12, oh, well, I'll start with level 11. This is funny. This card's important as well, if you just want to close out a game or two. We have Psychic and Punisher, which is a level 11 light psychic synchro monster with 3500 attack, 3500 defense. Requires a tuner plus 1 plus non-tuner monsters. While your life points are less than or equal to your opponent's, this synchro summon card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Once per turn, you can pay 1000 life points, then target one monster you control, and one card your opponent controls, banish them. At the start of battle phase, you can make this card gain attack equal to the difference in your life points in your opponent's. Now, you're wondering, how do I make this card? You've told me about Synchro 10s. Well, Ash Blossom is a tuner level 3. Malefic Stardust Dragon is an 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. I can make this guy. Also, Effect Veiler is a 1, and then Cyber End Dragon is a 10. 1 plus 10 is 11, so I can make this on the off chance. Do I want to? Not really, but I can, and that's cool. So, basically, if my life points are lower, I can make this guy unaffected by activated effects. So he's pretty strong. Also, I can pay 1000 life points, target a monster, and then another monster they control, destroy them. Pretty strong. Because you're paying life points, and then also by paying life points, that means at the start of the battle phase, I can gain attack between the difference. So if this card uses this effect to pop a card and pop one of theirs, I'll be at 7,000, they'll be at 8,000. Then during the battle phase, since the difference in life points is 1,000 between 7 and 8,000, this card will go from 3,500 to 4,500. So that's pretty good. And if you really start cooking, you can close out games real fast. Alright, next up, let's get to the level 12 synchros, because this is where it really starts getting crazy. Alright, we have Malefic Final Sigma, which is a level 12 fire cyber synchro monster with 3,000 attack, 0 defense. Requires a tuner +1 non-tuner monsters. Unaffected by card effects except Malefic cards. While in the extra monster zone, if this card is in the extra monster zone battles an opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can add one Malefic card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Malefic Final Sigma once per turn. Now, what is important about this card is that even though it's 3,000 attack and it's kind of low, it's basically a towers. It's unaffected by card effects while it's in the extra monster zone. So that's pretty fun. I do like that. Then if it battles, does double battle damage. That's pretty cool. You just use it because it's towers. You're not link summoning in this deck, so you don't really need your extra monster zone for any of that. So yeah, that's cool. The last part, to add a Malefic card if it's destroyed by a card effect, we don't have any Malefic cards, so it's fine. Alright, next up we have this new card, Crimson Dragon. This is all like theoreticals now. Which is a level 10 to a level, which is a level 12 light dragon synchro monster with 0 attack, 0 defense. Requires a tuner +1 non-tuner monster. If this card special summon, you can add one spell trap that mentions Crimson Dragon from your deck to your hand. Quick effect, you can target one level 7 or higher synchro monster on the field, except Crimson Dragon. Return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon one dragon synchro monster from your extra deck with the same level as the targeted monster. This is treated as a synchro summon. You can only use each effect of Crimson Dragon once per turn. Now, the goal of this card here is to tag out into a synchro monster that you cannot normally make. So by having a synchro monster that's level 7 or higher plus Crimson Dragon on the field, this card can tag itself out for another synchro monster and treat it as a synchro summon. It has to be a dragon though. So let's imagine we have Malefic parallel gear, we got the Malefic Stardust Dragon, we synchro, we make, I don't know, we make Chaos Angel, right? Because we feel like it. Then we find a means in which we're able to make Crimson Dragon along with it. So we have Crimson Dragon, which is at Synchro 12, doesn't matter. We have Chaos Angel, which is a Synchro 10, which means quick effect, if I want to, I can use Crimson Dragon's effect, targeting Chaos Angel to tag itself out to be able to Synchro summon into Bestial Dispater. So then I'm able to summon Bestial Dispater using that Crimson Dragon. Or if I have Final Sigma on the field, I can use Crimson Dragon to tag itself out by targeting Sigma to summon another level 12 synchro. And our level 12 dragon synchros we have are these two. But before we do that, let's look at another target we could use. Alright, we have Centurion Auxilla, which is a level 12 dark dragon synchro monster with 3,000 attack, 3,000 defense. Requires a tuner +1 non-tuner monsters. Face-up cards in your spell and trap zone cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can only use each effect of the following effects of Centurion Auxilla once per turn. If this card special summon, you can add one Centurion card from your deck to your hand. During the end phase, you can place one of your non-synchro Centurion monsters that is banished or in your graveyard in your spell and trap zone as a face-up continuous trap. Alright, so Centurions is an archetype. I'm going to say don't worry about the rest of the effects of it. It is basically a Synchro 12 you can go into if you want to. What's important is this protection effect, which is face-up cards in your spell and trap zone cannot be destroyed by card effects. So, another layer of protection. So let's imagine we got the Malefic world that's placed off of Malefic territory. Remember, neither player can target cards in the field spell zone with card effects. Which means, dang, if I want to get rid of Malefic world, I'll have to destroy Malefic territory. But then if Centurion Auxilla's on the field, then that means territory can't be destroyed by card effects, and you're like, wow, I have to get rid of Auxilla so I can get rid of territory so I can get rid of Malefic world. It's just a whole lot of soup you gotta go through before you can get to the bottom. And also Crimson Dragon can target this card to summon another Synchro 12. And now, well, let's get into the Synchro 12 listings. Last two cards, I think. No, we got one more left. We have Cosmic Quasar Dragon, which is a level 12 light dragon synchro monster with 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense. It requires a tuner synchro monster plus 2+ non-tuner synchro monsters. Good luck, my friend. Must be first synchro summoned with the above materials. Once per turn, you can target face-up cards on the field up to the number of monsters used as synchro material for this card. Negate their effects. This effect's activation and effect cannot be negated. Quick effect. You can banish the synchro monster card. You can banish the synchro summon card. Special summon one dragon synchro monster from your extra deck that requires 2+ non-tuner synchro monsters as material. This is treated as a synchro summon. I just learned I don't need this card, but I already read the effects of it, so I will keep it. This card is only used to tag out into another guy, which is this guy, which I actually did want. We have Cosmic Blazar Dragon, which is a level 12 Wind Dragon synchro monster with 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense. Requires one tuner synchro monster plus 2+ non-tuner synchro monsters. Must first be synchro summoned. Oh, must be synchro summoned. Quick effect. You can banish this card until the end phase to activate one of these effects. When your opponent activates a card or effect, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. When your opponent would summon a monster, negate the summon, and if you do, destroy the monster. Or when your opponent monster declares an attack, negate the attack, then end the battle phase. By banishing itself, is able to trigger any of these effects. It's like Ash Blossom. Yeah, that's it. That's it for this card. It's pretty... It's negate. It's a big guy. It's a negate. That's all, folks. Last but not least, we have this card, which is super important. Super Star Slayer Typhon Sky Crisis. What a cool name. It is a rank 12 Dark Fiend Xyz monster with 2900 attack and 2900 defense. Requires 2 level 12 monsters. You're not going to make this the normal way. Anyways, here's the alternate effect. During the turn or turn after your opponent special summoned 2 or more monsters from the extra deck, you can also Xyz summon this by using one monster you control with the highest attack, your choice of Tide. Transfer its materials to this card. If you do, you cannot normal or special summon monsters for the rest of this turn. While this Xyz summon monsters on the field, neither player can activate effects of monsters with 3000 or more attack. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, return one monster from your field to the hand. Now, this card's cool. It's a floodgate. I'm sorry, look, all roads lead to floodgate. That card's a floodgate. Because if you have 3000 or more attack, neither player can activate the effects of that monster. So, and this doesn't target the card, this targets the player. So this isn't just negating the effect, no, this is like the player cannot actually activate it. So imagine I have, let's imagine I have Psychic and Punisher on the field. Remember, while this card has less life points than your opponent's, it's unaffected by your opponent's activated effects, so that's cool. But this card, since it targets the player, that means I still cannot activate Psychic and Punisher's effect to pay 1000 to target a monster on both sides and destroy him. And that's Typhon for you. Then since this card is normally made with one material, I can detach a single material from the card, return one monster from the field to the hand. And since it says return one monster from the field to the hand, it is non-targeting. So normal cards would be like I target. This is non-targeting. So yeah, that's the goal. We use Malefic Parallel Gear, Stardust Dragon, we go into our level 10 synchro lineup. We got Cyber in Malefic, and then we got Parallel Gear to go into our level 12 synchro lineup. We got Toku to send Spear Mode, Carnot or Jizzy, so that we can draw 2 cards. We got Ash Blossoms for a little bit of interruption and or to make Psychic and Punisher. We have Effect Veiler, a little bit more interruption, or Psychic and Punisher. We have Forbidden Chalice so that we don't get screwed if our field spell gets destroyed. Multi-universes to protect field spells. We keep the territories to protect the field spell. Mount of the Mountain Creator makes our level 10 or higher monsters towers, which is super cool. Malefic Truth Dragon's there for emotional support. 1 for Paradox Gear if Malefic territories on the field or whatever, and that's the goal. Thank you for listening to me explain this. Let's see what a test hand looks like, and then we're gonna run some real games. Hopefully we learn what Malefic's like. And this is a bad hand. This is not a good representation of what we're playing. Don't worry about it. We're gonna activate Toku here. We're gonna discard Winged Dragon of Raw. We're gonna draw 2 cards. Oh, we saved ourselves because we can activate Malefic Territory. Activating Malefic World. Field spell has been acquired. We can normal summon Paradox Gear. We can activate Paradox Gear, tributing itself. Just special summon Parallel Gear, and then add ourselves any add ourselves any Malefic we want. What we could do, Let's see what we want to summon. Can we summon Dispater probably? We could summon Dispater. Dispater doesn't do much though. Sadly in the synchro lineup I'm unable to get more. I want to see if Malefic Divide works though. Because if I'm able to go Malefic Divide and then normal summon Ash, oh no, already normal summon Paradox Gear. I still want to see if I'm able to summon this guy. I don't know. So let's get this guy. Here we're gonna get Stardust Dragon, Malefic. We're gonna synchro into Dispater, because why not? We synchro into Dispater. Dispater's been summoned. Let's see if Malefic Divide can summon the Malefic Synchro. It cannot. Okay. Interesting. Holy! They were not kidding when they said, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. They were not kidding. Ignoring summoning conditions my butt. Holy, they were not joking around, I tell you. They were not joking around at all. They were like, no, no, no. You are absolutely unable to summon this card no matter what. So Malefic Divide does nothing. Alright, I'll keep that in mind then. Wow. It's crazy. Malefic Divide doesn't even work on like what you want it to work on. Alright, let's see what we're cooking up now. We got set rotation on the field. Nice. Sadly, we need Malefic World, which kind of sucks, right? Yeah, it needs specifically Malefic World, which I do not like. So we're going to activate set rotation. We're going to give ourselves Malefic World. We're going to give our opponents Mound of the Bound Creator. We are then going to go Malefic World here, so that we can actually survive. What we could do, Uraten and Uraten. What if we go Malefic Paradigm? We could go Cyberin. What if we go Malefic Paradigm to send Paradox to summon itself? What if we then normal summon Parallel? What if we then... Oh man, this sucks. I really want to make something good here, but I'm stuck making Sigma. I don't want to be stuck making Sigma the whole time, yeah? I want to stop this Sigma playing right now. Makes you wonder if I need to run like Monster Reborn or something goofy. We got Sigma on the field. And you still can't trigger your effect because we did not properly summon Paradigm. We did not properly summon Paradox Dragon, so we cannot use Paradigm Dragon to send a Malefic from the deck to the graveyard. To target Paradox Dragon, put it back in our extra deck so we can summon it. Because we did not properly summon Paradox Dragon. Oh my god. This is a very difficult deck. Difficult in that it's like it almost doesn't want you to play the game. Alright, this is our hand. Thankfully enough, we opened Malefic World. Holy. What we could do a Paradox Dragon play, I think. If we normal summon Paradox Gear, we activate Paradox Gear, we get ourselves Parallel Gear. Parallel Gear, we can trigger Paradigm, which means I guess we take Cyber End. Because here's the plan, I want to make Paradox Dragon using these. Though we have no synchro in our graveyard, don't worry about it. We made Paradox Dragon, which means now if we want to, we can go Paradigm Dragon. We can go Paradigm Dragon to banish Paradox Dragon. Summon I can't use, oh my lord. So, I cannot use the effect of Paradigm Dragon because... Oh, wait, it requires a level 8. Wait, this guy's level 10. I see. So what it wanted me to do was to use Stardust Dragon's effect to summon itself. So I would have to summon Stardust Dragon normally to banish Stardust Dragon, right? Then Paradigm Dragon would be able to put Stardust Dragon back in the extra deck. Okay, I think I see what you want me to do. I think I see what's going on here. So the only level 8 Dragon Synchro I can send is literally Paradox, not Paradox, Stardust Dragon. So I kind of see what they want me to do. I understand. Alright, let's see if I can cook. I cannot cook because this hand is nothing. Great. Let's try again. Alright, this is the hand of all time, and here's how. We got Malefic World on field. I need to make the Paradigm Dragon work here. We're going to normal summon Paradox Gear. We're going to trigger Paradox Gear. We're going to special summon Parallel Gear. Then I need Paradigm Dragon. But before Paradigm Dragon, I need to find a way to get Stardust Dragon banished. Holy cannoli. This is this hand's rough, because this isn't gonna work otherwise. So yeah, I can add Stardust Dragon if I wanted, but so what I could go into again, I can go into Dispater. I mean, this is oh yeah. Alright, wait 1 second. I need to check something here. Alright, so we added more cards to the list because I'm honestly in shambles right now. I'm honestly in shambles. Don't worry, we have Zeus. We know Zeus, right? I hope I talked about Zeus already. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I think I talked about Zeus. Alright, next up we have this new card. Pretty strong, pretty fun. Varudras? Varudras, the final bringer of end times? Question mark, question mark? Which is a rank 10 dark worm Xyz monster with 3000 attack, 3000 defense. Requires 2+ level 10 monsters. When your opponent activates a card effect, quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, negate the activation. Then you can detach 1 material from this card, then destroy 1 card in the field. At the start of damage step, if this card attacks while it has material, you can destroy 1 card in the field. If this Xyz summon card is destroyed, you can destroy 1 card in the field. You can only use each effect of Varudras, the final bringer of end times, once per turn. Don't worry about it. It's a fun card. It negates cards. I don't think I'll be using it very much, but I just want to like, I'm gonna like, I almost want to add like the Synchron engine to get some level 10 synchros in here. I meant to use some level 12s, right? Like, if I go like the assault synchron stuff, using Malefic divide and assault sync, I gotta try something. I gotta try it. Like, alright, dueling beast, best of luck to you. I've currently been fighting demons trying to play Malefics, so have mercy on me. We at least opened the field spell, that's all that matters. Well, we can go into Pep here, or we can go into Final Sigma. But that means that we can't use the effect Veiler. Our opponent's going first. Let's see what they're running. They set a card. They set another card. They set a card. They set another card. Okay. They activate... Wait, what? They activate a hero lives. I have a question. Why in the half-baked heck would you set before main... Okay. It's time, as they're playing, it's time for me to teach you a little bit about phases here, right? So, normally it's pretty good idea to... I'm gonna negate that. Normally it's pretty good idea to, let's just say, how do I put it? Set your cards during your main phase too. Oh, he goes talents to draw 2? Sure. Normally it's good to set your cards main phase 2. Well, if you're, I mean, why would you want to set cards before your combo's done? And here's why. So, normal spells can be activated the turn they're set, but quick play spells, the second you set them, you can't activate them anymore until the next turn, until like your opponent's turn, stuff like that. Traps cannot be activated the turn they're set. Like, it's just best to keep it in your hand, because there are actually certain strategies that capitalize off of the end phase. Like, they have crazy end phase mechanics to just completely wipe your opponent's board and stuff like that. And to be safer than sorry, it's safer to have your cards in your hand than it would be to have them set on the field before you finish your turn. It's also like, setting your cards before the battle phase is also something like that, so keep that in mind. We're playing against a hero player right now. They set extra hero Infernal Divisor. They had, what they have in their hand? They had a Neos in their hand as well. I think we have to activate Malefic World here. If we lose out on Malefic World, is fine, because we can just use normal summon Parallel Gear. They go favorite contact, fusion summon ignoring summoning conditions. Okay. He had a Neos. I think he goes in like a Chaos Neos probably. I don't know. Let's see what they're gonna cook. We no longer have access to Pepperoni, Psychic and Punisher, that is, because we use our Effect Veiler on the Stratos. He's trying to see which fusion monster to go into. Neither player can return this personal monster to the deck. Alright, he put the Denier and the Neos in the deck to fusion summon into... What are you cooking? If he can summon one more guy, we can actually use Spear Mode here. Sadly, would use our normal summon. He makes Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer. Interesting. We don't have a level 8 Dragon Synchro. I'm going to normal summon Parallel Gear, because what happens is that if Parallel Gear actually, if he pops Parallel Gear with this Phoenix Enforcer, then we do kind of lose, but that's what happens. Maybe he thinks this does nothing. This card's just a 0/0. It's a little 0/0. Do you really want to fight it? This card does nothing. This card does nothing. Don't worry about it. This card does nothing. Don't worry about it. This card does nothing. Don't worry about it. Droplet? Why? Why is he at... Wait, does Droplet... Droplet doesn't stop the Synchro Summon. I guess he didn't realize that Droplet does not stop the Synchro Summon. Now what we could do, as to stop him, the issue is that heroes have a good ability to go into certain monsters that can beat over monsters very fast. What we can do, we can go Malefic Parallel Gear and Malefic Paradigm Dragon to Synchro Summon into Final Sigma. Final Sigma is unaffected. He can go DPE here to pop a card. He can pop our Malefic World actually. DPE has an effect to lower the attack of monsters. He pops his Infernal Deceiver but does not realize that Final Sigma is unaffected by card effects. We go into battle phase, we punch over his Phoenix Enforcer. This card is destroyed by battle, which is unfortunate, which means it triggers and will come back during the next phase. During a standby, I believe. We sadly have to end on a Final Sigma. Phoenix Enforcer does come back. Thankfully, the effect to lower attack does not apply to Sigma, which is very nice. And we had to summon Sigma because it's basically a towers. If we can have access to Mount of the Bound Creator, we'll be looking real spicy right now. He surrendered? Alright, that's a game. Our hand wasn't the greatest, I do agree. But, do I have to add a call by? Do I have to put call by in here? God, the next game. Also, if you're enjoying... Oh, hello, Harry SL. I wish you luck. Also, if you're enjoying the content, let me know what archetypes you want to see. Stuff like that. I can cook one up. This has been fun. I know it sounds like I've been complaining playing this deck. He sets pass. Great. What if that's like a marshy marshmallow or something goofy? What we're gonna do though, we're gonna go Malefic World. We could normal summon Parallel Gear if we wanted. The issue is that Jizukiro has so much attack. We can make a level 12 Synchro. Like Auxilla we can make. I don't really want to make a level 12 Synchro though, which is my issue. What I kind of want to do is just see what card he's playing. But if we go Jizukiro, Forbidden Chalice, that card's unaffected. Well, technically Centurion Auxilla can negate its effects to beat over the Kaiju, which is nice. Or we can special summon the Cyber In, and in doing so, we should be able to... I got an idea. We can go Cyber In, normal effect Veiler. We're going to special summon Cyber In by banishing Cyber In Dragon. We are then going to normal summon effect Veiler. We are then going to synchro summon into Psychic In Punisher. Then after synchro summoning into Psychic In Punisher, I think what I want to do is to stop whatever they're doing. I want to see what that was. B Buster Drake. We can summon Jizukiro, the Star Destroying Kaiju. He goes Buster Drake effect because this card's in the graveyard. Add a Union monster from your deck to your hand. I don't mind that at all. Great. He added a Assault Core, which I think you do want to add, which is nice. So this card can be affected by your opponent's effect. We could negate its effects to increase its attack if we want. We're going to go Battle Phase here. We're just going to beat over this guy real quick. No effect needed. No effect needed. Take 200. We're going to go main phase 2. We're going to set the Forbidden Chalice as a potential way to negate. Sadly, they have more life points than we have more life points than them, which means Psychic In Punisher can be affected. He goes Galaxy Cyclone effect, which kind of sucks. We could go Forbidden Chalice to negate our own In Punisher, but I don't want to do that. So we lost our Chalice, which kind of hurt. Galaxy Cyclone targets set card destroy. It's so funny. So we see he's playing like a Union Buster Carrier. He sets another card, passes. I think he set the A Assault Core. What we could do, we can activate Malefic World. He can Ash that, which is why... This is why this card sucks. This is why this card sucks. Imagine losing your draw phase. Imagine losing your draw phase. Literally. Imagine losing your draw phase. This card sucks so... I got a little heated. Imagine losing your draw phase. Imagine losing your draw phase. This card sucks so bad, man. Anyways, let's go in. Let's use Psychic and Punisher's effect. We have 4,300 attack now. We're going to attack. Hit him for 4,300. He's put on a 1-turn clock. He had a C Crush Wyvern. He had a B Buster Drake. He activates Galaxy Cyclone to pop our Malefic world. He sets another card. He passes. If we can draw into a monster, that would be really nice. But sadly, we did not. We're just going to beat over the card. We can activate Punisher again to add more attack. We now are at 7,800 attack. If we get a second monster on the field, we should be fine. A Assault Core gets banished. Oh, A Assault Core to bring back the whatever card else. We need to draw into a monster to destroy it, to banish it using Psychic and Punisher. This is currently not unaffected by card effects because our life points are higher. He's able to set the B Buster Drake yet again. We have Malefic Stardust Dragon, but no card in our field spell zone, so we are unable to keep this card, which kind of sucks. There's kind of nothing we can do in this situation except keep gaining attack. So we're going to gain another bunch of attack. We're currently at 11,000. He could draw into the out and destroy us, so we beat over the card. We're going to pass it back to him. Hopefully we can find a way to out this. We have 11,000 attack. He sets another card. He ends his turn. Okay, there we go. We activate Malefic Territory. Malefic Territory to get our Malefic world on the field. That also means that we can activate Malefic Stardust Dragon, banishing Stardust Dragon to summon itself. This card says other monster you control cannot declare an attack. Lame. Anyways, we're going to activate Psychic and Punisher, taking 1,000 to target Malefic Stardust Dragon and whatever card they have and banish it. We banish their Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. Now we go to battle phase, Psychic and Punisher effect, gain attack. We're at 13,000 and we finish it off. So the goal is to basically make towers and beat your opponent to death by the looks of it, so. Alright, JNWER4, I wish you the best of luck. This deck has not made me proud yet. I'm sorry, this deck has not made me proud. I like it. I like the concept. I really do. I'm as happy as a cucumber, but at the same time, you can't blame me for being like, man, I really wish this deck was better. Alright, we're gonna normal summon Paradox Gear, activating its effect to tribute itself. After tributing itself, we're able to summon Parallel Gear, and then after doing Parallel Gear, we're able to... What do we go into? Is my question. If we bring a guy, we bring that card back and it's negated. I think what we do is go Excel Dragon, because we can go Malefic... Wait, we can get a 12 actually. Because if we go Paradigm Dragon, Synchro Summon, we can make Arcuella. We can bring it back with Malefic Divide and then make the other guy. So we're gonna go Cyber End Dragon. We're gonna add that. We're gonna add Cyber End Dragon. We are then going to make, I think Sigma. I think Sigma's a good option. We're gonna use this and the Cyber End Dragon for Sigma. Sigma in the zone. We are then going to go Malefic Divide here to target our Parallel Gear. Because I think this is just a summoning condition and not its... Because then we can actually make Crimson Dragon using the another Cyber End Dragon. Crimson Dragon has been acquired. Then if we want, we can activate Crimson Dragon to go into Cosmic Blazar on our turn. Crimson Dragon to target... He surrendered. No way. No way he actually surrendered. Wait, that's actually funny. Bro surrendered. Yo. Okay, that's kind of funny. So if we can find a way to get Malefic Parallel on that bad boy, we're pretty fine. I'm proud of what happened there. It wasn't even that strong of a board, in all honesty, but it was funny that that happened. Let's keep cooking, let's see what we can work with. Let's do another one. Alright, kick back, I wish you the best of luck. Let's hope that we don't, like, get absolutely folded like an omelet. Okay, we have Toku, which is nice. We have 1-for-1 Toku Forbidden. Paradigm Dragon plus Cyber End Dragon isn't bad. What we could do... Oh, we don't have a field spell. That sucks. Without the field spell, we're not looking hot right now. Because Paradox cannot tribute itself to get us a guy. We'll have to draw into it. We did not draw into it either. We did not drawn to it. That kind of sucks. Paradox gear can't do it though. Paradox gear cannot tribute itself to get parallel gear in a guy. That really sucks. All we can do now is just set Chalice and pass. Because Cyber End Dragon blows itself up if we don't have a guy. Is there main phase 1? We have an Ash Blossom and we have a Forbidden Chalice. Sadly, Toku cannot help us, and they have information that we're playing Malefics. Because they see the Malefic Paradigm Dragons in our graveyard, so... We're not looking hot. We gave them information, and they know that we bricked. They also know our win con, and they activate Lightning Storm off rip. That's not good. Oh, we're not looking hot right now. We may lose. This is an open board. Oh, he must have, unless he has a choke point that loses to Ash Blossom, we lose here. Oh wait, what am I doing? I don't have terraforming in this deck? Wait, I gotta change this real quick. After this game, I gotta change the deck up, because it's funny how we're missing a single card that I literally need super badly. Well, at least I'm not a Floodgate player. At least we're not playing Skill Drain, so... Do you see, that's the card I wish I had. We're gonna Ash the terraforming, because I don't want them to search a card, so... It's either we Ash the terraforming or we Ash the field spell they have in their hand. So to them, technically terraforming could have been like the thing. I don't know what field spell they were going for. We don't have knowledge on what deck they're playing. Technically ashing the field spell is good, but most cards these days that are field spells have the effect to add on activation, and they have an effect that helps them just base outright. So sometimes you don't really want to give them access to the field spell. There's some good field spells that are strong even without the add effect. He goes Thrust. Because we have no monster on the field, they cannot add it to hand. They're forced to set it. They set an infinite impermanence. Since we didn't have a monster on the field, they activate. Oh no, they're playing Tempai. We lose. We're folded. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of glad that we did Ash Terraform because they have Tempai Dragon. They didn't open a good one though. Yeah, they didn't open the good Tempai. Wait, what the heck? Did they not? They didn't get it. Yo, they didn't open the good Tempai Dragon. That's crazy. So Tempai Dragon is this deck that has like extremely easy win con to just beat your opponent to death. It seems like they opened not good though. They did not open a good Tempai. Tim die. So they attack. Unfortunately, the other two cards in their hand must not be that good. Because this card can summon another Tempai from the graveyard. So he doesn't have any Tempais in the graveyard, so he cannot quick synchro either. Which means that he's not looking hot. Main phase 2. Well, I'll be. Tempai cannot OTK, man. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. He opened Lightning Storm, Thrust, Fadra, and 2 other cards. Could be hand traps. And we opened triple Cyber Dragon. I'm literally going to hurt somebody. We can send it off. Like, we don't have a field spell. You know what we should have did? We probably, no, because we had to, no. If they would have terraforming for the field spell, we could have used that for Paradox Gear. And then after that, what we could have done, we could have been able to summon Paradox Gear off of our, if we would have known that he bricked, we would have been able to summon, is what I think. But sadly, we did not know he bricked, and because of that, we're not looking hot. We're not looking hot. We're not looking good. We're not looking good. I think the best option here is just to surrender. To be honest, I think we just have to surrender here. Dang, turn 4 Tempai. What's going on right now, man? Yeah, Tempai player. I'm sorry, I'm being like super. I'm being scathing towards this. I'm scathing towards this guy, but. I just want to play Malefic. Alright, can you play the game? Can you play the game? There ain't much to it. Yeah, there ain't much to it. Can you play the game? Can you play the game? There ain't much to it. I'm cutting this part out. I just want you to know. Alright. Holy crap, we have a draw card. Let's hope we do not get Ash Blossomed. Alright, we're gonna activate Toku, send Cyber Dragon, draw 2 cards, perfect. This card sucks, this card also sucks, this card also sucks, amazing, love that. Special summon this, it immediately gets destroyed. At least Paradox, we have no field spell. We live in a world without a field spell is what I'm learning. Would banish a monster special summon itself? You can banish this card you control or in your graveyard instead. Means absolutely nothing. This card does nothing. I lose. Maybe I can like increase the clock here, but like I'm literally, there is nothing I can do right now. If I summon a Kaiju, I just die sooner. So goofy. I'm literally if I had like a relinquish play I can get into, that would be nice, you know? Yeah, I lose here. Malefics are so bad, I gotta surrender. I'm sorry. It's not letting me surrender. Thank you. There. Man, this is rough. This is Alright, let's run another game. I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time. I will play this though. Alright, why Mo plays. I wish you the best of luck. Please do not let me get destroyed. I beg of thee. I won the dice roll. I'm in the rock, paper, scissors game. Let's play. What you got for me? We open... Okay. We got Malefic Parallel Gear. We got Toku. We got Paradigm. Wait, does this work? Wait, is this combo? Cause hear me out. Hear me. Oh, I don't have a... Oh, this sucks. So, here's my problem now. I would have to summon Stardust Dragon, right? I would have to... I need a field spell. I need a field spell. I can't play this game without a field spell. Holy crap. It is insane how badly I need field spells. Thank you! Alright. Territory. Malefic World. Bingo. Cha-ching. Then we go... You know, I wish. I mean... I have nothing good here. There's literally nothing good. There is nothing good. There is nothing good. It's crazy. Wow, this is alright, looks like Chaos Angel Pass, pal. Okay, I gotta get the tunings. I gotta play tunings. This is rough. Because I could not summon Stardust Dragon because Malefic Parallel Gear needs the Malefic to be in my hand, I was unable to go into a synchro I wanted. This is rough. Oh, he ends turn? Amazing. Malefic World, if I do this and they ash it, I swear. MST to target territory, I assume? Alright, well at least I didn't get ashed. So, what's in my graveyard here? You know, screw it, I'm gonna go Paradox. Give me my Paradox. Thank you. That man activated Mystical Space Typhoon. Alright. We're gonna go Paradox here. I think if we summon a Parallel, and then after summon the Parallel, we go Paradigm. I think something like a Synchro 12 here. 10 and a 10. Paradigm has to target one in the graveyard though. Cyber End and a 10 makes it 12. 12 is Sigma. Sigma, is that the way to go? What's in my extra deck? What's a high attack one I can go into? Oh, if only I could burn into... Oh man, I need Rail Cannon. Sigma's a guy, and then Dispater's a guy. I guess it's Sigma or Dispater here, so I guess we get Stardust again. Wow, I'm having a conniption, I tell you. Alright, I guess we're making Dispaterino here. Dispater has been summoned, not like it did anything. We're gonna go to battle phase. Gonna hit him for this. We're gonna hit him for that. And if only we had a Rail Cannon Gustav Max. Sadly, we do not. I've learned the error of my ways. I gotta change this deck out a little bit. I got to. I literally have to. I'm going to. Whoa! Armored zombie! Duality? No. No duality for you. Holy cannoli, is this man gonna fissure me? This man is this what Malefic can win against? Is this all there is to it? Battle phase? What are you attacking, my friend? I wouldn't do that if I were... Alright, the funniest thing that I've came across is that I'm not even cutting down the amount of field spells I'm playing. That's the craziest part when you think about it. I'm not cutting down on field spells. I'm running 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 3 more copies, 5, 6, 7. I'm running 7 field spells here. I'm running set rotation, that's 8 field spells. I have draw power to get into said field spell. Yet somehow, I am not... I don't know how. I'm at a loss of words, I tell you. I'm lost and cannot be found. I'm running terraforming, that's 9. Half of my deck should be field spells right now. So it is insane how little field spells I'm acquiring. I'm losing it. I'm literally losing my marbles on just how infrequent the field spell economy. Alright, anyways, I've added tuning. We know what tuning does. I've added Assault Synchron. Hopefully these level 2 tuners that summon themselves for free, paired with my Malefics I can somehow summon, can give us more access to Crimson Dragon plays with the Final Sigma, or some wacky way to make, I don't know, Rel Cannon Gustav Max. Sadly, when it comes to handling going second, it's the God's draw. There is no way there's nothing I can do in that situation here. It is up to the Lord on whether I win going second or not. Alright, I'm gonna do a couple more games. Alright, Reyes Sobervilla. Villa. I wish you luck, please don't hurt me too bad. I'm running a couple more games, like I'm having fun, yeah? But I'm understanding what's wrong with this deck. I'm really understanding. I'm getting animated off of how bad they did my boy. They massacred him. Wow, stand up Centurion. You're not gonna like it when you find out that what I'm playing does not even need to use any effects. It's actually crazy. This archetype I'm going against helps me. If they summon King Calamity, I'm doing great. I'm having a fun time. They summon Calamity, I'm having fun. The fact that I open field spell's not bad. Only issue with Calamity is that I really want to use 1-for-1 pitching Parallel Gear to get Paradox Gear while Malefic rolls on the field. So I can tribute Paradox Gear, get another Parallel Gear plus another Malefic that we need in our hand so we can Synchro Summon. So not having that is an issue, is something I can say. It's an issue not having that card, so... Hopefully they can summon 3 monsters, though I really doubt it. I doubt they're able to summon 3 monsters, so... We'll watch them go into their Crimson Dragon play. They're gonna go Auxilla, I believe. Yup, Auxilla. Then they're gonna make Crimson Dragon. On our turn. No, they're gonna make Crimson Dragon, then they're gonna make Hot Red. Wait, they're setting? What? Wait, what? Pardon? Okay. Auxilla here? Oh, because it sets it back. Premier will be able to get Emmett and then summon that guy back. Perfect. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go 1-for-1. We're gonna go 1-for-1 pitching Carnot. They're going to go Premier to summon itself. They're gonna go Trudea summoning itself. I think it changes level as well. Then after that, they're able to Calamity Lock me, which kind of hurts. That's 3 monsters. And this is Paradox Gear, so... Paradox, attack ETH. Wait for it. On summon, activate effect. Synchro summon immediately because you're level 8. Emmet. Place it. Summon itself, placing Trudea back. And the chain link, and then he makes Crimson Dragon. You know what's funny? Wait, no, that's only 2 guys. Sadly, spear mode is not spear moding. They added Centurion bonds here, and you know what they're gonna go into. My problem is that I can't summon that card. The second I activate a card effect, I'm screwed. Yeah, the second I activate Malefic World, they're going to do something to me. Wait, dude, if face-up field spell zone... Oh, it is on the field spell zone. I can still do it. Great, perfect. We're going to activate Paradox Gear, which is literally all I wanted to do was just activate Paradox Gear. They're going to go Crimson Dragon. I forgot the Centurion stand-up is on the field. They're going to go Crimson. Wait, they're going Quasar. Perfect. We're going to go Parallel Gear here. And then we're going to add... What do we add here? Oh, man, what's the extra deck looking like? 2... What's a card we can go into here? 2, 2, 8... Sigma's a 10. Sigma's a 10, Dispater, Chaos Angel would not be unaffected, right? Because there is no light monster. Rudy Rose has a negate destroy. It looks like it's probably... What about Truth? No, I think it's Stardust here. We gotta add Stardust, I think. Cool. We can special summon Carnot, which is funny. I mean, sure, I don't mind them negating Carnot. Yeah, let's... Oh, special summon Carnot for free? Great. If they activate a monster effect, we can just straight up, like, punch one of those guys, so... The card is summoned, Cosmic Blazar is going to negate it and destroy it. Carnot, since it got sent to the graveyard, will shuffle itself back into the deck. Great. What we can go into Typhon, actually, later. Wait, is that a light? No, you're a wind monster. Okay. This targets single monster, neither player's graveyard special summon it? What's in a... No, none in the graveyard real quick. We got Chaos Angel, which is the free banish, which is nice. We got free banish, we got Dispater. Wait, because we can shuffle back their Chaos Angel if we do that. So we're going to go Dispater here using the Stardust Dragon. If they activate a monster effect, we can shuffle back their their Cosmic Blazar Dragon so that they're unable to do anything with it, which is super funny. So if they activate a monster effect, we shuffle back their Cosmic Blazar, so that's kind of funny, I think. So that means no Veiler for you, friend. No Veiler for you. You're only lucky because Cosmic Blazar is a wind monster, so I can't summon that off of Dispater. And they know that too. They know that they're kind of screwed without that. Next up, what we can do, we can activate Malefic World here. I want them to use monster effects. They're going to go Super Poly to Super Poly the Dispater and the Auxilla. They made Mudragon. Sadly, we have no out against that, to be honest. It kinda sucks. Our poor little Dispotterino. I was really hoping to do like a Dispotter, negate, and shuffle back the Cosmic Blazar, but that card's coming back during the end phase. So we have nothing to deal with that. It's technically open board state, so what we can do now is just set a card and pass. We are not looking hot. They're going to trigger the banish effect of Phalanx to special summon back the Auxilla. Having the Super Poly is really nice, I bet. Good job. On end phase, Auxilla can add the Centurion card from deck to hand. They add another Primera. And they're super close to lethal, so we're dead. Cosmic Blazar comes back. Sadly, the Dispater thing we were trying to do did not work out. They have Jewel's Worm to banish our Dispater, because why not? No, they're banishing our Stardust. Because I guess they know that we have Malefic Divide. And that looks like game. This is all in their end phase, by the way. End phase, they get to place one of their banished cards back, set it. Got Primera in the spell and trap zone as a continuous trap. You know, I respect them not going Calamity. I guess it's because they know that our deck does not use effects. That's probably why. Primera here. Sadly, we can't do anything about this. I mean, they're gonna synchro summon. I mean, we're not winning this, is what I'm telling you. Gonna go Garou to draw, make Chaos Angel to banish. They're playing very safe here. Like, you could say this is like bad manners they're BMing right now, but in actuality they're playing safe. Because what on the off chance that whatever I set causes them to miss lethal. So they're playing in a way so that they're guaranteeing that nothing I do in my hand or field or graveyard can keep them from destroying me. So that's what they're doing. Flip all guys to a tab position, Chaos Angel, Cosmic Blazar, Jewel's Worm, Auxilla. That's more than game. So yeah, I mean, we got cooked. 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 Alright, Queen of Games, I wish you luck. Please don't hurt me too hard. I have feelings. Alright, they won the rock, paper, scissors. What do they call it? RPS? They won the RPS. There we go. Okay, we got set rotation, synchron overtake, kaiju, paradox gear. That's not bad. I'm be honest. You may think this hand sucks, and it does, but it doesn't suck in reference to like this deck in its entirety. This hand is not that bad. We didn't open any Malefic monsters, but if Malefic Paradox gear goes off, we're in the racist. They're playing, it looks like Rika Aromage. Nice. So this deck is a deck that likes plant combo per se. So plant combo, right? Basically, it's you have a lot of plants. You see they're running a 45, 46, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're running a 50 card deck because this archetype really excels in having a lot of gas. Like, you're able to run a minimum of 40 cards and a maximum of 60. Certain decks just love running a lot. Wait, what is that? Wait, what? What the? One. That's one. This guy's running 12 extra deck. I thought, that's so odd. He's playing plant combo, Rika Aromage, right? But he only has 12 cards in his extra deck. That's super interesting. Keep note of that. So here's what we're going to do. Since we don't have anything that really contradicts what we have with Malefic World, what we're going to do instead, we're going to activate set rotation, and please don't you do anything about it, because I will just kaiju you. I will straight up kaiju you if you do something about it. Thank you. What we're going to do, we're going to give ourselves Mound of the Bound Crater. We're giving ourselves Mound of the Bound Crater. We're giving them Malefic World. Because we're just saucy like that. Hey, Rika, stop that. We're going to activate... You know, I'm tired of this Rika card. I'm just going to straight up tribute it, right? We're good? We're good here for tributed? Alright. Because this card's just being a little too annoying. We're just going to tribute that off. Boom, summon the Kaiku. We're going to go Mound of the Bound Creator. We're then going to normal summon Paradox Gear. We're going to go Paradox Gear effect, tributing itself. To get ourselves good old Parallel Gear. We got ourselves Parallel Gear. Then if we get like... That'll be 2 Synchros, I think. 2 Synchro 12s may cook. What's an extra deck here? 2 Synchro 12s or a Synchro 10 and a Synchro 12? That means we can go Final Sigma. No, we have to go Dispater and then... No, Dispater's a 10. Could go Dispater Final Sigma then? It has to battle an opponent's monster, so that's not going to work. So I guess we're going to have to go Dispater and then Chaos Angel by the looks of it. Dispater and something else. So we'll just add you. We'll add you. We'll add Stardust Dragon. Alright. We'll then sink the bad boy off into, let's see. What do we want to sink it off into? We can sink into Dispater or Chaos Angel. We'll sink into Chaos Angel here. Using these two. Chaos Angel has been acquired. Chaos Angel effect. We'll banish. Oh, I forgot that can't be targeted. That's so funny. Because the monster cannot be targeted, it's so funny in my opinion. That's hilarious. What does it say? You take 1,000 damage, which is funny though. We can activate Synchro Overtake as well, if we want. We'll activate Synchro Overtake. We'll, you know, say Malefic Paradox Dragon so we can summon Malefic Parallel Gear from the graveyard. Special summon it. Bingo! Let's get ourselves a Synchro 12. I'm thinking Crimson Dragon here. Alright, Crimson Dragon. Then Crimson Dragon can make Dispater if it wants to. Alright, so we're gonna go Battle Phase, we're gonna attack. We're gonna beat the Jizukiru. Mound of the Bound Crater is gonna trigger. They're gonna take 1,000 damage. Then I would attack with that card, it's funny. Alright, then we're gonna Crimson Dragon in phase. We're just gonna in phase, in turn. We're looking pretty hot. Technically I could have done much more than I did. I've been disconnected from server because why not? Great, love that for myself. Alright, one more game. I have zero clue what happened there. Last game, I'm done. I already got a lot of editing to do, I guess. Let's... Alright, Arvid. What a name. I think he's gonna cook me. Man is Pyromaniac with me. He plays his burn deck. He did the achievement which drew him a lot of cards. Looks like he won the achievement for Magical Sumo Dice games as well. So we may get cooked here. Oh. We've opened Oops All Field Spell. Love that, man. I love that for you. Oops All Field Spell. Alright, we're gonna put this on manual. And just hope that we can, like, survive. This man's playing Adventure Sprite. That's insane. He already has an Omni Negate on the field. He already knows what he's cooking, so that's why he's playing so fast. Special summons Blue. Blue adds another Sprite. He adds Carrot. He links those two off into Sprint. Sprint to send a card. What's he sending? Send Nimble Angler. Nimble Angler to summon both Nimble Beavers from the deck. Using the Nimble Beavers to go into what? He's using the Sprite Sprint and the Nimble Beaver to go into Gigantic. Gigantic to detach to summon a level 2 from the deck. He lost into level 2s. He summons Swap Frog. Swap Frog send another Swap Frog. He then goes Swap Frog effect to bounce back the other Swap Frog to summon itself. Oh no, just bounce it back, that's it. He goes Carrot. He links Carrot those off for Bujinki Ahashima. Ahashima uses the Swap Frog and the other Swap Frog to go into Toad. Totally awesome. Makes Totally Awesome. If Totally Awesome detaches, Bujinki Ahashima is able to pop a Spell Trap on the field. Then Sprite Carrot is able to, Sprite Carrot's able to negate a monster effect. What we can do, since it's a monster negate, right? What we can do here, I think we can activate Chalice off Rip. We're going to activate Chalice off Rip, targeting... He has to trigger, so we can activate Awesome off Rip, targeting Toad, which will require him to use either Griffin Rider or Toad here. He's cool with Toad being negated. Next up, what we can do, let's see what we can cook here. What we can cook, he has to pop a card, so... What if we activate Malefic World here? What if we activate Malefic World, and he goes to negate it? With Griffin Rider. He's gonna leave it, isn't he? I bet he's gonna leave that card because he knows Malefic World does absolutely nothing. He knows that card does nothing. I hate it here. He knows this deck sucks. He knows the deck sucks. Oh my god, he knows this deck sucks, bro. Look, hear me out. There's nothing I can do. Tuco has to send something that equals 10, not over 10. Set rotation only gets Mount of the Bound Creator, and I have to hope that he negates it. I can activate set rotation, and all he does is negate set rotation, right? All he has to do is negate set rotation with Griffin Rider. He doesn't because he knows this deck sucks. He knows this deck sucks. That is my issue. He knows this deck sucks. He knows I have nothing in my hand. I can activate Mount of the Bound Creator. He doesn't have to trigger Griffin Rider. If he wants, he can go Toad. He triggers Griffin Rider to negate and destroy it. So I can add myself... Oh wait, I forgot. It's not on the field because when it's activated, it's like almost on the field. I lost. I'm just gonna end it. I lost. Yeah, that's sums about up. Yep. He knows it. Yep, I tried. Why would he oh no, he has Swap Frog, huh? Oh, I forgot. So, Gigantic Sprite can detach from any Xyz monster, so he doesn't have to detach from itself. He goes blue to add Sprite Jet, I think the name is, Sprite Jet. He has another Wandering Griffin Rider, send a card, he sends Sprite Jet. He has Bujinki Ahashima, 3200 attack, Gigantic Sprite. He has red to negate a monster effect. He has the Adventure Token that can pop back a card with Draco back. He has Totally Awesome on the field, that's a negate. He also has the Sprite Blue. He has game on board. He doesn't have to continue playing. And yeah, I mean, we lost. I can't say much, that was a pretty good board. He knows it like the back of his hand. We lost, and I no longer have the will to play this game, so... Now we're back. Let me tell you a little bit about Malefics. After playing a couple games, I have learned that this deck has many flaws. It has many flaws, right? I'm going to explain a couple flaws. First off, the reliance on the field spell, which is almost why most decks that have to revolve around field spells aren't that good. Zombie decks that rely around Zombie World kind of hurts the deck because if you do not have access to the field spell, you are in a worse off situation. I think Earthbound is also like that, where they have to have a field spell, where the Earthbound Immortals destroy themselves just like how the Malefics do. Also, Lair of Darkness, those decks that require the tribute cards, they're more self-reliant than Malefic is. Malefic literally has a continuous spell that overwrites the card effect on the Malefic monsters because the effects on the Malefic monsters are so restrictive. What's next? The tuners. Now, Malefic Parallel Gear is super interesting and unique in how it is able to make the non-tuner be a Malefic monster from your deck. I meant from your hand, which I think is insane, which means you don't have to summon that Malefic monster and go through such a hassle, because summoning the Malefic monster requires you to be like, well, do I have a field spell or not? And then you're kind of screwed. What's next? The Malefic monsters requiring main deck monsters hurts the deck. It makes it even more bricky. So much so that your field spell is there to try to mediate the pain of that. But the field spell can be Ash Blossomed. So, do you really want to risk? Like, okay, you can add any Malefic card from your deck to your hand. That's super cool. Or you can get Ash Blossomed. Or they can just negate that effect. So instead of drawing, they can negate your draw. Which, you know, like your draw is like the only constant thing in life. Your only way to like kind of out yourself, to get an out. Instead, they can negate that, and then your draw is screwed. Malefic Territory doesn't negate your card being drawn. Paradox Gear isn't bad, but it requires the field spell dependency kinda hurts again. You want to run Skill Drain in this deck because all of the monsters' effects are just so restrictive that you want their effects to be negated. The Synchro lineup is not bad. One of the best Synchros, Baron de Fleur, got banned, so you can't really go into anything too crazy. Running Synchro Overtake isn't bad for the combo because Paradox Dragon does mention Parallel Gear, and I don't mind that. Ash Blossom to go into Pepperoni off of Stardust Dragon. Stardust Malefic's like the best Malefic there is, and it's still bad. Cyber End is like a 10, so you can use so you can go Malefic Cyber End to go into like, I don't know, Crimson Dragon. But there's decks that do it better, that are like one card combos. Half of your extra deck is just in shambles. I could have played this completely differently if I wanted and made it pure Malefic, and then use my extra deck as a resource so that I can like grind and go further into my deck. But even that sucks. You rather play decks that specialize in that mechanic. Parallel Gear is like the only cool thing about this deck. I have to run the Assault Tuning Engine to have more level 2 tuners because Parallel Gear has to be synchro summoned in that specific manner. You can't use a Malefic monster on the field in Parallel Gear because, to be honest, none of the Malefics are supposed to be together on the field. There's supposed to be only one Malefic card on the field. So that's why Parallel Gear is locked the way it is. Because half of your Malefic monsters are like, well, I'm xenophobic, I can't be next to another Malefic monster. The continuous spell has to overwrite that. Then, Malefic Divide has to target a monster to ignore summoning conditions, but half of the Malefics have like, cannot be summoned by any other ways. And then you're just like, well gosh dang, this card, though it's a non-once per turn, and you think it's kinda cool, is actually kinda bad. What's next? Paradigm Dragon. Great, I love Paradigm Dragon, but it sucks. It requires you to open Paradigm Dragon plus Stardust Malefic, plus the continuous spell, plus a way to synchro summon. Like, I'm going to lose it. Why are these both in the same effect? Why is the effect to send a card from your deck to the graveyard the same effect that you'd have to use to target a synchro monster and special summon it? Why would you do that to me? I don't care if you have anime logic. By the way, during all of those games with real individuals, I did not summon Malefic Truth Dragon once. This is one of the coolest cards I've ever seen, and its effect is just one big summoning restriction condition prostate exam. I don't know. This card has 5,000 attack, it's level 12, it's a dragon, it's everything you want, and then you read the effect and you're like, can someone chop my balls off? It is so bad. What's next? Ash Blossom is the best Malefic card there is. It stops half of everything they do. I have to run Forbidden Chalice to negate my monster's effects because they're that bad. Mount of the Bound Creator stopped me from targeting Jizakira to destroy it with Chaos Angel. Malefic Paradox Dragon is a win effect. And requires so much setup. Because Malefic Stardust Dragon has to banish a Stardust Dragon, yet Malefic Paradox Dragon targets a synchro monster in the graveyard and special summons it. I could just run Monster Reborn. I don't want a 4,000 attack Monster Reborn. I'm sorry. It's so bad. I'm literally like frothing at the mouth because I thought I would have like, I thought I'd be like, oh, I haven't played this deck in a minute. You know, maybe I'll have like a fun hunky-dory time. Maybe it won't be as bad. Maybe I'll learn some new combos, some new strategies. No, this is the same list probably that I had back when I played back in 2015 or something like that. Nothing has changed because this deck is like, it is immovable to change. You can't do anything to this deck. Like, I'll tell you the new cards I've added that compared to back when I had it back then. Ash Blossom Assault Synchron Tuning Package. Set rotation always been there. Forbidden Chalice I added. Synchron Overtake I added. Toku. Toku's cool. I love Toku. Toku's such a cool card. I just shouldn't have ran in this engine. Like half the Malefics I had to take out because they're so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Okay, Carnot, that's a new card. I did do the Mound Bound Creator Winged Dragon and Raw Spear mode play back then, so that's pretty cool. Crimson Dragon's a new card, so this is kind of new. I do like the combo, but then it hit me that there's other combos that do it better. Back then I did use Super Dreadnought Kale Rail Cannon Gustav Max to go into like the Super Door and all that other stuff. Zeus is always there. Typhon's kind of new. Didn't summon it once. I think I did summon it, or maybe I didn't. I can't remember. But and then I'm like, well. Can this deck change? Yes, it can. What would they have to do to change this deck, or what cards would they have to add to make this deck better? What they would have to do is like they'd have to make a new deck. You can't run a single one of these Malefic cards. They are so awful. I need to stop slandering this. I need to stop with this. I don't even know I'm running Dispater. For the cards that get banished, like Blue Eyes White Dragon and all that other shenanigan, maybe if I would have like added like the Red Eyes Black Dragon combo and like Blue Eyes, maybe I could have used Dispater a little bit better, because I would have been able to summon Blue Eyes White Dragon and Red Eyes Black Dragon off of Dispater if I like had Parallel Gear, if I had Paradox Gear and a field spell, and then also like Blue Eyes or Black or Red Eyes Malefic Dragon, maybe I would have been able to like summon that back. But then I'm thinking about it and I'm like, what good is summoning back a single Blue Eyes? Why am I running vanillas in my deck? Why is this whole deck consist of vanillas? What is wrong with me? Final Sigma's always been the go to this deck. I'm gonna be honest with you, there's never not been a use case for Final Sigma. Towers are always fun. Pepperoni, Psychic and Punisher is always a fun card. Like, but back to what I was saying. Thank you for watching this. I hope I can make this, you know, a little bit entertaining. I didn't want to like, oh, after the Skull Servants video, go into like another crazy combo deck that would take me like a week to make, to like finish the video for. I want to do something short, simple, sweet, more gameplay, explaining cards that are like kind of broken, kind of staples in today's current gameplay. And, you know, I hope you all enjoyed it. Maybe you can play Malefics. I'm sorry I slandered Malefics so bad. I was very frustrated because I like the deck so much, because it was one of the first decks I ever played in Yu-Gi-Oh! That's why it hurt me so much playing this right now. But yeah, let me know what other decks you want me to play, other archetypes you may be interested in, any way you want me to improve the video style, format, stuff like that. Let me know, and I appreciate you stopping on by. Ciao.